Money.
Because it's those are the things that keep you going. The holiday highlights can get you messed up.
Yeah.
If you think it's a game.
Woo. Why am I answering first?
You're the head.
Well, we have numerous accounts. You know, our portfolio is very diverse. But
Right.
In general, it's ours, right? You know, so no matter what comes in, it's ours collectively. There's no need to have an exit strategy or a rainy day fund when it comes to the funds that we bring to the table, because I don't plan on going anywhere. You know what I mean? So whether it be a separate account, a joint account, the passwords, the access is all available to both of us.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's something as simple, I'm gonna go buy this, you know, what account should I use? You know, and we'll just, you know, okay, use that one.
Okay.
But to answer your question, how do we manage our finances as a couple? With honesty. You have to be honest, and you have to be able to be accountable for what you're doing. There's not always thousands or millions of dollars in every account. You know, there's not always going to be months where everything is amazing. There's going to be some times where it's tough, and we've been through those tough times.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we know we're going to stick together. We're going to stay in it.
Okay.
So whether it's, you know, accounts being overdrawn, we've been there. You know what I mean? Not far from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the fact that we're in it to win it means whatever comes, we're going to be able to handle it. So if the money's high, if the money's low, things are going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in hearing the wife's response.
Yeah. So my next question is going to be to the missus. So you're, I don't want to say a stay-at-home mom, but you stay at home, but you work a lot. So she's not the typical stay-at-home mom. Like, you don't see too many moms staying at home doing hair, you know what I'm saying, writing books, you know what I'm saying, blogging. That's kind of a stay-at-home mom that works a lot. So, you know, and I'm not saying that stay-at-home moms don't work. Don't be sending me emails talking crazy. But so how does that play with you? Because Chris has a regular job, and I don't want to say it's 9 to 5 because he don't have a 9 to 5 either. It's stressful. He's a lot more than that. But he has consistent finances coming in. You have from the books, from the hair. So how do you guys? Because I mean, I've heard couples, you know, where women, they feel like just because you bring the money home, don't mean I shouldn't be able to spend it how I want to spend it. What's your outlook on that?
Well, like Chris said earlier, you know, whatever comes in is ours.
Yeah.
And not having an exit strategy, not having that rainy day fund like our elders teach us. Like, hey, I always put something to the side.
Right.
You know, have you put something in the mattress and don't tell nobody. You know, that's what the old school people, you know, women like to tell the younger generation.
Yeah.
But for me, I recognize our roles. You know, that God has placed in order. And I know that my husband is the provider and I am the helpmate. And in areas where things are lacking, where I find that he's weak, I try to pick up in that area when I can.
Yeah.
And if I cannot, I try not to stress him out. You know, I don't make him feel like things is going crazy because finances is low.
Right.
I do what I can to keep peace in the house.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what keeps us from arguing so much. Because like he said, you know, we've had those times where finances was low and we had, you know, overdraft fees all over the place. And, you know, and I know as a provider, that can become really, really hectic for the man, stressing out, knowing that, you know, things is tight. But for me, you know, I start cooking up them pancakes for dinner. And, you know, we make it work. And really, and that's what as the woman, as the wife, I have to make it work.
First of all, I just have to say, look at Jesus, because, you know, that's one of the biggest things, like, finances within themselves are already stressful to manage. Excuse me. Finances within themselves are already stressful to manage as a single person. You know, I look at my finances and I say, okay, I got this bill, I paid this, I got this. Now what? And now, you know, if you're dating, you got to kind of budget that in because, okay, I got to go do dinner tonight, you know, so on and so forth. And sometimes even in dating situations, I have to be like, I can do
One
this.
of the things that as men, we need to also recognize that we have a level of, we have a lifestyle that we want to provide for our spouse. We have a standard that we've set that I want to be able to live like this. I want my wife, my girlfriend, whatever it may be, you have a standard of how you want them to be respected and how they want to be treated and how you want them to be appreciated financially. So a lot of the things that we would have arguments about, not even arguments, where there would be frustration, it wouldn't be necessarily anything that she did. It would be something where I wasn't comfortable with how I was able to display my representation of being the provider.
So give me an example of that.
So for example, if there's a holiday or something like that, if Valentine's Day was coming up and we're going to a restaurant where I feel like we should have a $200 plate, but we have to go to Chili's, you know, there were years where that would make me insecure.
Right.
Because you're better than a 2 for $20.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's not it's the principle of the whole thing where your ego has to get in line with your pockets.
Yeah.
And you have to know that if you want a $200 plate, then make a $200 sacrifice.
Ooh.
And make it happen.
Right.
If that's what you need as a man to feel comfortable.
Right.
And don't hold it against her if y'all eat at Chili's. Okay. You know what I mean? And in addition to that, if you're doing 12 $200 plates,
right,
she's gonna look crazy when y'all go to Chili's.
Right, right.
So don't start what you can't finish.
Okay.
So
that's a big one. Now,
well, I'm sorry.
I want you to go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to add to that too. Is like, I love that you have your role, but as a woman, we can make a man feel insecure by how we look at them and how we treat them with how they provide. And we need to recognize the power that we have in that. And I want to give another example of a Christmas where money was tight, and we chose to spend all our money on our children. We decided we weren't going to buy each other gifts.
Right.
We were only going to buy for our kids, which we did. But as a gesture, I wasn't expecting anything. But my husband also brought me my favorite candy bar. And that, it just warmed my heart because I wasn't expecting anything. Right. But the candy bar meant a lot because it was the gesture. And a lot of women, I'm not even gonna say a lot of women, well, these days, some women would be like, what?
Yeah.
And I thought it was awesome. So it's those moments that strengthen a relationship when you're able to appreciate the small things.
See, it ain't Sunday, but she preaching. Y'all know she.
But there's levels, as the young people say. There's levels, right? Mm-hmm. So there's going to be things that we do as men where we don't show appreciation the appropriate way. So we may have all the financial things, we bring them to the table, but the subtle things and the paying attention to the details, or the body language, the contact, the touch, doesn't add up either. Yeah. So all the things that we try to focus on as men financially, they also need emotionally as well. And then over time, as you become one, you guys are going to need the same things from each other. So there are going to be days where the candy bar may have been fine one year. It was cool. Right. It was cool. But it was the timing.
Right, don't bring the candy bar next year.
Right.
It's 2014. You see this rock, like, candy bars are gold. But
no, that's real talk though. I mean, candy bars don't last forever.
Right, and you gotta have a vision. I mean, don't go into a relationship where the biggest thing in your world is the other person. Yeah. You have to be happy with yourself and say, you know what, I'm gonna be successful, I'm gonna be happy either way it goes. Right. And if I wanna feed myself a $300 dinner, I'm gonna put myself in that position. Yeah. So that way when we enjoy it together, we're doing that, we're enjoying it. Right. I think in relationships many times, people always want, show me how much you care, show me how much you love. Like, it's not about you. Right. It's about Jesus. We need to be glorifying Him. Marriage is for the other person. Right. So it's a lifestyle that you commit yourself to. Going to the grocery store, making sure there's toilet paper in the bathroom, making sure your car is warm on a cold day. Yeah. Like, those are the things that keep you going. The holiday highlights can get you messed up. Yeah. If you think it's a game. Woo.